But a tree that does not have good fruits is head up very high above all others. So what is the use of so-called knowledge if it does not bring about good character? Krishna will not tolerate it. It is just a matter of time till everything is vanquished. So yes, Trinavarta, like the demon of the false pride of material scholarship, it makes us think we're going higher and higher and higher above everyone. But Krishna can save us from this demon within our heart if we sincerely and humbly take shelter of hearing His glory, serving His devotees, and chanting His holy name. Soon after learning to crawl, Krishna began to learn how to walk. This is incredible. Krishna tells in time the ability of man on the intelligence of the intelligence and the strength of the strong. But yet that same Lord is learning to walk. Sometimes Nanda or Yashoda would have Krishna hold on to their little finger. And he would walk a couple steps, and then his fingers would slip from their finger, and he would fall to the ground and cry. They'd say, "Try again, Gokul, try again." Krishna walked. How is this? Pleasure, not only to the devotees of Vrindavan, but to enchant, attract, and conquer the hearts of anyone who sincerely hears these beautiful pastimes. The absolute truth is such a helpless position in relation to his devotees. Conquers the hearts. This is the special feature of Vrindavan. In Vaikuntha, the Supreme Absolute Narayan doesn't learn how to walk and fall down and cry. Only in Vrindavan. Because Vrindavan is Madhurya Dham, where the Lord's pastimes are so full of infinite sweetness. Where we could love Krishna beyond the Aishwarya, majestic respect of the all-powerful God. We could love Krishna intimately as our friend, as our child, as our lover. And Krishna reciprocates accordingly. When Krishna learned how to walk, the first thing he started to do with his friends was his pastimes of stealing butter from the neighborhood of gopis. The gopis, elder gopis, would come to Yashoda to complain about Krishna. What is this complaining? Srila Prabhupada explains again and again in his purports to Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, the beginning, how these leelas of Krishna as a baby are so charming. They can completely purify our consciousness. If we can just somehow or other develop a taste for hearing them and speaking them in the association of devotees, we can transcend all the miseries of material existence. Krishna is the ultimate object of our love. And he's come in the form of a little baby just to enchant our hearts. into his eternal pastimes. To hear and to speak about Krishna is the ultimate fulfillment of a bhakta. Because the sound vibration of Krishna's names, the sound vibration of Krishna's pastimes are Krishna. He's manifesting in that transcendental sound. He's personally present. Ye yatham mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. Bhagavad Gita tells, as we surrender, as we take shelter, Krishna reveals himself. We are in Vrindavan, where Krishna's Leelas, what we are speaking tonight, they are happening eternally in this land of Vrindavan. By simply focusing on hearing and chanting these beautiful Leelas, according to the sincerity of our hearts, Krishna reveals those Leelas, gives us entrance into his pastimes. The highest perfection of yoga, the highest state of liberation, according to the scriptures. So the gopis would say to Yashoda, you don't know what your son is doing. Right now he's sitting next to you and he's smiling like he's so innocent. But he and his friends, they get up early in the morning and they walk around Vrindavan just to look for the next place they are going to attack. Early in the morning, before our husbands get up, they let the calves out and bring the calves to their mothers to drink the milk, and then when we and our husbands go to get milk, there's no more milk. And then they come into our houses when we're not around and start breaking the pots of our butter and start eating the yogurt and the butter. And sometimes when our husbands, they're grown men, they see little Gopal eating the butter. And they want to stop them, but Gopal looks at them and smiles and enchants them so much that our husbands become like statues. They can't move, they can't speak, they just watch Krishna eating all our butter and there's nothing they could do about it. And at other times we say, Krishna, you are a thief. And Krishna looks at us and smiles and says, no, you are a thief. And sometimes when we hide our butter and yogurt, Krishna goes into a private room when our children, our little babies are, and he pinches them and makes them cry. Other times, in order to keep our butter away from Krishna, we hang them from ropes from the rafters of the ceiling. And Krishna's little friends and Balaram, they stack up boxes and piles and grinding mortars, and they somehow or other reach up and get the butter and yogurt and eat it. And we see that Krishna, not only does he eat it, he distributes it to his friends. And when his friends are completely full, he calls the monkeys. And he personally distributing with his own hands to the monkeys, and the monkeys are eating and eating and eating all of our butter until the monkeys are so full they can't eat anymore. And then Krishna breaks the pots and says, this butter is so useless, even the monkeys don't want it. And sometimes in the dark, Krishna, he wears these jewels, and these jewels are so shining that they light up the whole room, so he knows exactly where to find our butter. Mother Yashoda said, then I'll take the jewels off him. They said, no, don't take the jewels off him, because even without the jewels, these children are so special. They seem to illuminate wherever they go. And when we really try to hide all of our butter in such a way that he can't find it, he goes into our temple room and passes urine. You're laughing. How many times have you passed urine in your life? Would anyone like to make an estimation? You could take out your little computerized cell phones and try to figure out how many times have you passed urine in your life? I have a simple question. Who cares? Nobody cares. But Krishna, 5,000 years ago, passed urine once, and we're still talking about it. That is the difference between God and you and me. Not only are we talking about it, but just by hearing about that one incident, self-realized Paramhamsa liberated souls weep and cry in ecstatic love. That is Krishna, all attractive. The gopis said to Yashoda that now we're lodging all these complaints and Krishna's looking at the floor like he's completely innocent, but actually we know that in his mind he is plotting at this moment when he's going to steal our butter next. And Krishna just, Yashoda Mai and the gopis looking at Krishna, all they could do is smile and laugh in love. And the gopis told Yashoda Mai, actually the only reason we come to complain is it just gives us an excuse to talk about Krishna. They weren't complaining, they were glorifying, they were expressing their innermost heart's love. Some people ask, why is Krishna Makhan Chor, stealing butter? After all, the highest morality is coming from God. So how is God a thief? God is not a thief, but he is a thief, according to his own independent free will. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. If we want to understand these beautiful pastimes of Srimad Bhagavatam, first we must know the conclusions of Bhagavad Gita. We can't just jump ahead. Krishna explains who God is. He's the proprietor of everything that exists. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. That means everything in every planet, in all material and spiritual worlds are the property of God. The sign of a proprietor is we have control over something. Ultimately, whether we're simple people living in a village, or whether we're billionaires or kings, the nature of this world is at any moment, anything could be taken away from any of us. And by the power of time, death is certain to take everything away from all of us. He's reciprocating with their love. Krishna is Hari. Hari means one who steals away everything inauspicious and steals our hearts. The ultimate pleasure of the gopis when Krishna comes to steal the love of their hearts, which is personified as the butter in their pots. And when our hearts become soft and sweet like butter through churning it, through bhakti, through devotion, then Krishna, Hari, will steal our hearts. And there is no higher joy or spiritual perfection than that. One day, after the elder gopis were lodging so many complaints against Krishna, just as an an expression to talk and glorify him and immerse their consciousness. The Gopas complained to Yashoda that we saw Krishna in a secluded place eating dirt. Yashoda Mai became very worried. She took great pleasure in hearing about him stealing butter, because butter is very nutritious. But eating dirt? She got very worried. She said, Krishna, how are you going to maintain your health if you're eating dirt? Is there not enough butter and sweetmeats and sweet rice and so many tasteful things in the house? Why are you going to eat dirt? Krishna said, I did not eat dirt. Yashoda Mai said, but your friends are telling me, and even Balaram, your older brother and your dearest friend, he would never speak a lie against you. If Balaram says it, it must be true. Krishna said, no. We were playing a game, and they got angry at me. I'll tell you, Mother, you were stealing butter. And I was telling him, no, we shouldn't steal. I'm going to tell my mother that you're stealing. And they said, well, before you do that, we're going to tell a lie against you that you ate dirt. I never ate dirt. Yashoda Mai said, if you didn't eat dirt, let me look in your mouth and see if there's dirt. Now these are very transcendental, puzzling concepts. How is it that the absolute truth tells lies? The absolute truth cannot tell lies, because the absolute truth is absolute truth. But as a baby, by saying he didn't eat the dirt, he's increasing the Vatsalya Ras, the loving affection of his mother. And that reciprocation of intimate love on the liberated plant form is the highest truth. Krishna doesn't have to worry about what we relativistic people say is moral or immoral. Because on the transcendental plane, it's already perfected, where there's no ego, there's no selfishness. It's a total liberated state where to increase the intimacy in the ecstasy of love, Krishna is speaking what is apparently a lie. Vatsalya rasa and all other rasas spring from prema. Prema is ecstatic, spiritual love. That prema resides within the hearts of the devotees. And that prema arises due to Krishna's natural affection for his devotees. Krishna is Bhaktavatsal. He is always affectionate to his loving devotees. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, of all the characteristics and qualities of Krishna, this is the crest jewel. Krishna is all merciful. Krishna is supremely pure, supremely truthful. He's the absolute all-pervading Brahman. He's the protector of his devotees. But the crown of all these qualities is Krishna's love, Krishna's affection for his devotees. It's because of Krishna's intimate, intense, loving affection for us that our love for him awakens. And therefore Krishna's stealing and Krishna's lying is the most beautiful ornament. Because it deepens the rasa between the Lord and his devotees. Krishna said, "Look in my mouth and see if I have eaten dirt." But the reality was that Krishna did eat dirt in a secluded place at Brahmandagat on the bank of the Yamuna in Gokul, which all of you on the yatra have either gone or you will be going in the next few days. Very special place. In 1971, I was here in Vrindavan when Srila Prabhupada came, and every day he would take us in the mornings for several hours to holy places. He took us to Radha Damodar and to Imlital and to Nandagaon and to Badarsana, and he took us to Gokul, Mahavan. And I remember he told this same story of Krishna eating dirt right at the place where it happened, on the bank of Yamuna. In order to charm his mother's heart and protect himself from being caught eating dirt, he had to somehow or other distract Yashoda from seeing the dirt. So when she looked in his little tiny mouth, this big, she saw the universe, the Virat Rupa. She saw all the planets, all living entities, all the devas. Within little Krishna's mouth, she saw, of all the planets within the universe, she saw all the mountains and the oceans. She saw the three modes of material nature personified. She saw the creation, maintenance, and destruction of everything and everyone. She saw all the 8 material elements in their basic, crudest form. She saw all 8,400,000 species of life, and in his little mouth she saw Vrindavan. And when she looked closer, she saw herself looking in Krishna's mouth. When Yashoda Mai was seeing this, it was incredible. Because Krishna's mouth was only this big. The whole universe was in this size. And the universe did not shrink to fit in Krishna's mouth. The universe was its full-scale, unlimited size. What our proud modern scientists cannot even fathom with their greatest telescopes. The most distant planets. Yashoda was seeing it all with all the space between it within Krishna's mouth. How is that? Achintya Shakti. Krishna has inconceivable potencies. He can do anything, anytime, anywhere. Yashoda Mai, because of her motherly affection for Krishna, she just could not, it was impossible to her heart to accept that Krishna could be the all-powerful, almighty God. She was wondering, what am I seeing? She was thinking, am I dreaming? No, because my eyes are open. And I could feel myself. I'm not dreaming, I'm wide awake. Maybe I'm in illusion. But why would the demigods bother putting such an insignificant little gopi like me into an illusion? So I can't be an illusion. Or maybe I'm in a deranged state of consciousness and I'm seeing this. But I'm quite fit. Mentally, physically, everything's fine. I'm not deranged. What am I seeing? And how am I seeing? Why am I seeing? What is this? Is it perhaps that my son, Krishna, is some powerful mystic? Like Gargamuni. During the name-giving ceremony, Gargamuni said that this son will perform incredible activities and he's as good as Lord Narayan. Could that be? Yashodamaya was thinking, no, it can't be. What does Gargamuni know? When Krishna's thirsty, he cries unless I give him milk. When Krishna's hungry, he cries unless I give him some butter to eat. When there's thunder in the sky, Krishna gets afraid and he comes running and he holds on to me and trembles for shelter from the lightning. And Krishna's so naughty. He steals butter and he runs around and he does all these things. Gargamuni could think whatever he wants to think. But I can't live without Krishna, and Krishna can't live without me, and I know who he is, and he knows who I am, and that's the truth. But still, she's seeing the universe within his mouth. Srila Prabhupada explains that when we are bewildered by a situation where we just cannot understand or figure out what is the logic behind it, why is this happening, a devotee simply takes shelter of the Supreme Lord. In this particular verse of the Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada quotes this verse of Lord Brahma. That when inconceivable things that happen, even reversals, even the most difficult challenges come upon us, we may not be able to intellectually understand how or why. But in such a state, a devotee naturally just takes shelter of the Lord. And the simplest, most direct way of finding that shelter is to call out from our hearts for Krishna's mercy by calling out his holy names. Yashodamaya began to cry out with folded hands, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, I don't know what I'm seeing or how I'm seeing, but I take shelter of you. You are the cause of all causes. You are the creation, maintenance, and destruction of everything that exists. You are the shelter of your devotees. Please give me shelter. And please protect Krishna. Under your illusory potency of Maya, I am thinking that I am the wife of Nanda Maharaj, and I'm the queen of Vrindavan, and all of the gopis, and all of the gopas, and all of the cows, and all of the forest belong to me. And I'm thinking that Krishna is my child, and I'm protecting Krishna, when actually you are the controller and the protector of everything that exists. She was praying in this way because seeing this universe in Krishna's mouth, she was worried about Krishna. How is he going to digest it? She was worried about a little tiny piece of dirt in his mouth. And now she's seeing all the mountains and all the salty oceans and all the humans and all the animals in Krishna's mouth. So she's praying to Lord Narayan, please protect my Krishna. You are the Almighty, you are the All-Great, I don't understand. And Krishna was listening to her and watching her. And he thought within his mind, if my mother is philosophical like this, then who is going to cuddle me with sweet motherly affection? He didn't want Yashoda to be a learned, scholarly philosopher. He wanted her to be his mother. So Krishna just smiled. And with that smile, he covered Yashodamaya with his Yogamaya potency. And she completely forgot everything that she had just seen in his mouth. And milk started springing from her breast. And she put Krishna on her lap, and he sucked on her breast to drink her milk. And Krishna was completely satisfied. In this instance, Shukadev Goswami tells us in Srimad Bhagavatam the good fortune of Mother Yashoda. The three Vedas worship the absolute truth as Yajna Purusha. The Upanishads worship the absolute truth as Brahman. The Sankhya philosophy scriptures, they worship the absolute truth as Purusha. The Yogic Sutras, they approach the Lord as Paramatma. And the Pancharatras, they worship the Lord as Bhagavan. But Mother Yashoda, she was infinitely beyond all these levels of knowledge and realization, because she was seeing that Supreme Brahman as her own little loving child. And Krishna was seeing Yashoda as his own mother, conquered by her love. Parikshit Maharaj, hearing this incredible story, was asking Shukadev Goswami, tell me, who is Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj to have the highest, most intimate, incredible, loving relationship with God, with Krishna? And Shukadev Goswami explained, in a previous life, Drona and Dara, two Vasus, they worshiped Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma gave them a benediction, and the only thing they wanted was that they could take birth in this world to be the parents of the Supreme Lord, to witness his intimate loving, to love him as his own mother and father. And they prayed that anyone who hears these pastimes of our loving relationship with our child, that they will be liberated from all sufferings forever and attain the supreme bliss of the spiritual world. Drona and Dara were two partial expansions of the eternal mother and father of Krishna from Goloka Vrindavan, Yashoda Maharaj and Nanda. Yashoda, Mai and Nanda Maharaj. One day, when little Krishna was roaming about Vrindavan, a fruit vendor came out of the forest with a leaf basket filled with fruits. She was a tribal lady coming from society where there was no education, people living in the forest. This lady, a Purinda, she all the residents of Vrindavan, if anyone would some fruits, I have fresh ripe heard this. And he picked up a handful of grains because he used to see his mother and father and other for other goods. Currency, where we trade what we have for what someone else has. So little Gopal, he went running to the fruit vendor who was just sitting on the ground with her basket. And as he was running, because his hands were so tiny, the grains were falling out. And by the time he reached the fruit vendor lady, there was hardly a couple grains in his hand. And he smiled at her and said, "Please give me fruits. Here is the payment." And the fruit vendor looked at the smile of little Gopal. His glance upon her, those hypnotized her heart. That smile on Krishna's beautiful face, because his smile is like a kunda flower, his name is Mukunda. She was charmed. By this time, there were no grains left in his hands. And the fruit vendor just said, "I want to make you happy, my child. Take as many fruits as you can hold." And with her own hands, she put one fruit after another in Krishna's hands. And then she started filling up his arms. And Krishna was so happy, he smiled at her and ran home. The Bhagavad Gita tells us, "Patram pushpam palam to yam yomi bhakta prayachchati." Krishna says, if one offers me even a leaf, a flower, a little water, or a single piece of fruit, if it's offered with bhakti, with devotion, I accept it. Samsadir haritoshanam. The success of any endeavor we make in this world, whatever our occupation, is that we please Krishna. And Krishna is pleased by bhakti, by our devotion. That leaf basket filled up with precious jewels. Not jewels of this world, celestial jewels, diamonds, emeralds, pearls. And the fruit vendor, she was so conquered by Krishna's little innocent childlike smile. She wanted to give Krishna more fruits. She decided, I'm going to take my basket home and I'm going to fill it with more and more fruits, and I'm going to go to Krishna's house and I'm going to feed his whole family with fruits. Anything I have to do to make Krishna happy, I will do. And she picked up the basket and didn't even look to see what was inside. She ran home. She didn't know it was filled with fruits. And when she started getting fruits from her house and she started putting it in the basket, she saw there was no space. It was overflooding with precious jewels. And Jiva Goswami tells us what she was thinking is the most precious wealth I have ever achieved was the beauty of Krishna's smile. She was feeling such intense separation from Krishna's loving smile. She was completely transcendental to anything of this world. She just wanted to go back and please Krishna by bringing him more fruits. She couldn't care less about jewels. She had attained the ultimate jewel of Krishna's smile. So she ran back to Krishna's house, And meanwhile, Krishna ran into his house with all these fruits. And he came up to Mother Yashoda and said, look what I have all these fruits. And Yashoda Mai said, where did you get these fruits from? Gopal said, there was a lady, this tribal lady, and she was selling fruits, and I gave her some grains, and she gave me the fruits. And Yashoda Mai became very worried. She said, it's not Krishna. You can't trust everyone in the world just like you trust people in our house. And Krishna said, what does it mean to not trust somebody? That was Krishna. And then Krishna understood that the fruit vendor was outside. So he ran outside just to satisfy her with his loving smile. And she gave him more fruits. And Krishna brought them back in and told Mother Yashoda, please distribute the fruits to all our friends and relatives. And to please Krishna, with that armful of fruits that Krishna carried in, Yashoda Mai started giving them to friends and relatives and gopas and gopis. And however many fruits she gave away, there was always more fruits. Krishna just put the fruits in, wrapped them up in her cloth, and as she was giving them out, she was giving hundreds and thousands, and they never ended. And anyone who tasted the sweetness of even one of those fruits, Jiva Goswami tells us, that person for the rest of eternity could never ever forget the sweet taste of those fruits. And in this way, Krishna captured the heart of this simple lady. This is bhakti. Anyone, from anywhere. Krishna does not care what we have done, does not care who we are, because ultimately we are all eternal souls. Jivera Swarupai Krishnera Nityadas, we're all eternal loving servants of the Lord. And if we simply offer a little love to Krishna, Krishna reciprocates Karuna Sindhu with an ocean of infinite love. Srila Prabhupada explains, if we take one sincere step toward Krishna, Krishna is willing to run thousands of steps toward us. Just wants to see our sincerity. Why should we be attached to the illusory jewels of this world which simply bind us, ego and attachment, when Krishna is eager to give us the crest jewel of all realizations, Prema Pumarta Mahan, the jewel of ecstatic love, prema. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they have come to this world to distribute this fruit. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Varanasi, he gave this analogy that I am like a fruit salad. And my fruits are the fruits of love of God, prema bhakti. And I have so many fruits, infinite fruits. I can't with my own two hands distribute all these fruits. And hardly anyone in this age of Kali wants to take them. I will give anyone these fruits of ecstatic Krishna prema for the smallest cost of just the sincerity of a devotee's willingness to accept it. But I'm asking all my devotees for all time to come to render the highest welfare work, the para upakar, by helping me to distribute the fruits of love of God by promoting the chanting of the holy name.